Hey, welcome back into today's video. She jumped out of a moving vehicle. She was picking locks to break into his house and his room. He was afraid to go to sleep. We're going to be talking about TikTokers Sienna Mae Gomez and Jack Wright. Today's topic brings up a very important conversation about how men are treated in society in these types of situations. When a woman physically advances on a man and what he should do in those types of situations and how it can be treated not as serious. Jack and Sienna were members of the Hype House, which is a collective of teenage TikTokers and the name of the mansion where some of them lived. It was also an 8-episode reality show on Netflix. Jack and Sienna played a relationship on screen and for their content, but it was made very clear to Sienna that Jack did not like her in this way, but that didn't stop her from making advances. May 30, 2021, one of Jack's friends, Mason Rizzo on Twitter, says, "Jack and James have been my best friends since kindergarten." James being Jack's twin brother, going on to say, "I struggle with seeing a girl getting praised after telling my best friend to kill himself and assaulting him on numerous times after he set boundaries and then repeatedly wonders why he doesn't like you back." She also has a history of verbally abusing people in high school and in LA. She prioritizes the growth of her platform rather than the positive message she represents herself as. Followers should not be an excuse to get away with behavior. You guys all deserve to know the truth about her. This shows that the situation was going on for a while and that multiple parties were concerned, but on May 31, 2021, Mason tweets, "The Wright family, Sienna's family, and I have decided to delete all information about the situation and handle it off social media." Shortly after this, Mason deleted his Twitter, but Jack released a statement saying, on his Instagram story, he said, "While I love sharing my life with all of you, some parts are deeply personal and I have been hesitant to share for my own emotional and mental well-being. But I will say this, sexual assault is a serious matter and has real consequences. Mason and James's only intention was to protect me with the truth, and I really value their enormous support through an extremely difficult time. I truly encourage my childhood friend Sienna to get the support and help that she needs. I don't want to tear anyone down and only wish healing for everyone involved. I want to thank all of those who have reached out with your love and support and kindness. I am forever grateful." Sienna also released a statement saying this, "Friends fight and relationships change, but allegations of criminal acts are not to be thrown around loosely. Making an untrue sexual claim is never okay. I'm beyond saddened by this situation. In order for all of us to move forward, I will be taking this offline with Jack. Thank you to all who have reached out with love and concern." Handling it offline must have not worked out because Sienna posted around a 7-minute video response titled, "Addressing False Allegations," and the comments were turned off. However, I think it's very important for you to know what was said in this video as she comes off very aggressive and it shows how she was trying to manipulate the story.
Over the past few months, Jack and I have been together almost every day, and he never once brought these sexual assault allegations to me in private, which is why I was so confused and in shock when they came out in public.
Clearly, this isn't something that someone would bring to the offender privately. That makes absolutely no sense. When a woman physically puts herself on a man, it's very dangerous for the man to physically remove her, especially with how society views these types of situations. She also says that the two of them never had sex, like it in some way absolves her from ever being able to S.A. Jack, and it's not what's being alleged here.
For so long, I was strung along and misled by Jack. It's honestly really embarrassing for me because I gave my entire heart and all of my love for 9 months so vulnerably on the internet, and everyone can go and look at these videos and see how invested I was in our relationship. And when I wasn't inconvenienced, when I wasn't around for the video or the TikTok kiss or the TikTok views, I wasn't important to him. But that is not true in my case. I cared about him on a personal level, and I will always have a special place in my heart for him.
As you will see, the two of them did not have a legitimate off-screen relationship. She was seeing other people and the dynamic was understood, but she leaves this part out. And the way that she's currently speaking does sound obsessive. You are being accused of a serious crime, and you're saying Jack still has a special place in your heart.
And this isn't a lie, but it wasn't me who assaulted him. And Jack, I'm so sorry that I have to do this to you and I have to out you like this. And I never, ever, ever would have done this to you if it didn't get to the low point that it did, where my name was literally being slandered left and right. And I'm sorry, but for the one time, I have to protect myself before I protect you. I was trying to be there for the both of us and trying to keep your name and your personal business out of it, but you didn't keep my personal business out of it. We both know what happened, and we both know who it was, and we both know that I was not at that gathering that night. I'm so disappointed in you and the people around you because they are letting you misplace your trauma onto me, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you. It's not my place to speak your story, and I will not discuss this any further, but it's not your place to allow false allegations to be spread about me when we both know that I was not the one who did this to you.
So here she decides to out him as a survivor of SA in response to what's currently being accused, which is absolutely disgusting. This is her attempting to gaslight the viewer into believing that Jack is not mentally capable.
All I'm going to say, James, is I'm so surprised that you're so outspoken on an issue that we both know you relate so closely with. It would really suck if a large group of people, including some of my closest guy friends and my brother, had to share the experiences that they've had with you. Saying that I sexually assaulted your twin is very bold, especially coming from you.
This sounds like she's accusing Jack's brother James of SA and threatening him to stay quiet, which does not sound good. Using manipulation in response to SA accusations. Doesn't sound, it's just not. She also demands them to release evidence of their claims. So they do.
I unequivocally deny the allegations that I sexually assaulted Jack Wright.
Here's the thing. I don't care what type of relationship you got going on or not. If you do this to somebody who is visibly not incapable of consenting, then you are committing a crime. Sienna attempted to rationalize this situation by showing examples of how they would normally kiss and be intimate in a 14-part unhinged TikTok story.
As you can see here, and anywhere online, Jack and I were very touchy-feely with our friendship. This is the way that we interacted with each other, and it is in any video you go watch of us. Please, and I encourage you to go watch my recent YouTube videos featuring Jack, our recent TikToks. Online, we touched each other, kissed each other, we were playful. Jack kissed me, and I kissed him. Within the boundaries of our relationship, this was normal. The way that Jack's friend narrated this video, I admit, looks so weird and looks just like real. But like my last video, where I showed comments that were resurfacing and then provided a backstory, not everything is how you see on social media. This is a breakdown of the video. The clip of me kissing Jack, he is also kissing me. I was looking at him face to face. He was kissing me back. Lachlan claims that he was unconscious. If he was unconscious, why did his arm move when you got up? And also, why was he kissing me back? You claim in your video that you hear kissing noises.
I started hearing kissing noises and I peeked over my shoulder and it was exactly that.
We were kissing. Lachlan also claims that my hand is on Jack's crotch. While it is not, my hand is very visibly on Jack's thigh, upper thigh. This video was very strategically narrated.
And again, you were not in a real relationship. You were seeing other people. And even if you were in an intimate relationship, what you did in that video was not okay. You're literally trying to tell us as viewers that your hand wasn't on this guy's downstairs and that his arm didn't fall off of his friend's back when he got up. Anybody that's watching this video can clearly see that regardless of anything, this guy was in a vulnerable state. There was an official statement that was released. It feels like it's from a lawyer. It says that Jack has taken no action. There has been no police investigation, not even a police report to our knowledge, no charges, no private lawsuit, no contact between Sienna and Jack or their respective legal teams in many months. But if you go back to the statistics against SA, then you know that the majority of these types of crimes do not get reported. Specifically in the situation where the gender roles are reversed. On January 20, 2022, Jack Wright released a video titled "What Sienna May Did to Me." In this video, he details the first of many encounters where Sienna would eventually apologize for.
So the first incident where Sienna crossed boundaries, it was after filming. We went into the room. I was just chilling on my phone on the bed, and she got like completely nothing on and straddled me when I was literally just chilling on the bed. but I didn't know what to do in like the situation because it was just like random and weird. Quickly told her, Sienna, get off. We're just friends. Stop. They're trying to make out with me. They're like just doing a bunch of things to me, and I kept on saying, Sienna, stop, get off. I didn't want to like be like aggressive. I didn't want to hurt her, you know. So I pulled her off of me, and it took like a couple of tries because I didn't want to be like too rough, and I went out of the room, and that was like the end of it. The next morning, where she was like, I'm so sorry for doing that. I don't know what went through my head. I had to clarify again that I didn't like her that way. We were just friends.
This is a very difficult situation for a male to be in, especially a male influencer on the internet. Imagine if you were to switch the gender roles. That in itself gives you an idea of the severity of this crime. Jack goes on to explain obsessive and controlling behaviors that quite literally sound insane.
There was a party. I was taking pictures with a couple other girls. We took a picture. Sienna came in, started screaming at me, got mad at the girls, told me to come to her room to talk to me. She started screaming at me, and I was like, Sienna, there's no reason for you to be mad when you're getting with other guys in LA. I can't just take a simple picture with a couple girls. That's when she pulled me in and grabbed me and tried to make out with me, and I got pissed and told her to leave. I wanted to stay at the party, and she kind of had already been yelling at every single person in the party. So two friends wanted to take her home, and while the car was moving, she jumped out of the car, rolled, and said, I have to get back to Jack.
This girl literally tucked and rolled out of a moving vehicle, but it didn't stop there. She would wait until Jack was in vulnerable situations.
She knew I had those boundaries. So when I was at my most like vulnerable state, like when I was arguing, getting heated, or when I was asleep or passed out, that's when she would take advantage of me. When I'm awake, I hated it. I hated that touch. I hated any intimacy with her because I knew we were just friends. I didn't want that from her. And especially with like the past couple things she did.
This type of behavior happened so often that it became a normalized thing for Jack, and it came to a point where he was actually worried about sleeping.
She would break into my house, and when I was sound asleep, she'd come into my room, and I'd wake up to her hand in my pants, and it wasn't like the only time it happened too. I was so like used to it. I was so used to it that I don't know, it was just like normal for me that I didn't think there was such like a problem at all. Like part of me wants to blame myself for being nice and sticking around after so many times.
This goes back to how society views situations like this when it comes to gender roles. Despite Sienna being a young female, her crimes were still devastating.
We went to a party one night. She got mad that I was talking to some girls, and she took me into the bathroom to talk to me, saying that she wanted to leave. She was blocking the door, so like I couldn't just like throw her out of the way. All I had was, stop, Sienna, don't do that. If I come out, she will like scream at me in front of everyone and think that I did something. I mean, I feel like no one believes a male, especially in like that type of situation. But yeah, she was on the counter and wrapped her legs around me and started like, let me out of the bathroom. Yeah, just weird stuff. That night we went home, made sure we had like different rooms to stay in. And I got in the shower, and she picked the lock of my door. I made sure to lock the doors, but she picked the lock and walked in. I was in the shower. All I heard was just like the door opening. And that's when I was just done. I screamed at her, told her to get out. She started crying. She went and slept in my bed. And I went to my friend's trundle bed that was like upstairs. And that's how like the night ended.
It was also revealed in this video that Sienna did this to multiple other young men.
Since everything was brought to social media, multiple guys came out to me and said that Sienna did similar things to them. And basically, I'll show the text right now. I asked all of them for permission to post, crossed out all their names. We don't want her to hurt anybody else. We don't want anyone to go through that experience.
Around January 22nd of 2022, Sienna released a blog post, a very long blog post titled, Sienna Mae Gomez, Reflections from an 18-year-old Me, where she admitted to some things. Did I do some things wrong and sloppy as a 16, 17-year-old girl who felt love for a guy? Yes, for sure. I admit to stepping out of a car, stopped at a stop sign, last New Year's after we publicly fought. There was also alcohol involved, and I'm definitely not proud of my behavior. After we kissed at midnight, he went and flirted with some other people. At least that's how I saw it. I got jealous, it was stupid, and I am ashamed. Going on to say, I wish I knew then what I know now. I wish I had laid out boundaries that made sense to us both, that protected both of us from feeling vulnerable or misled. I don't know a lot of other people who at 17 know how to do that with their partners, but would have liked to have tried. I wish I knew that every time he did something nice for me didn't necessarily mean that he wanted to be my real-life boyfriend and not just my internet boyfriend. January 24, 2022, Jack released a final statement to NBC. Kat Tenbarge tweeted saying, a representative of Jack White sent NBC a new statement from him in response to Sienna Mae Gomez, saying, I truly appreciate Sienna's acknowledgement that she made mistakes and that she did not fully understand consent. It is a step in a positive direction. I believe Sienna is struggling to face the truth and the harmful, painful choices she made. Every word in my video is the truth. I hope she continues to get the help that she needs so this never happens again. Separately, to everyone who has reached out to me over the past few days, thank you. I'm deeply moved by the support and those who have shared their own difficult stories. No one deserves to suffer in silence because you think you won't be believed. Please know that I hear you and believe you. I want to make sure you know about rain.org. They can help. Jack Wright. Now, there is a nuance in this situation, being that Jack and Sienna were both 17, 18 years old during the events, meaning that their minds were still developing on these types of things. But the severity of the crimes involved, well, they're not normal at all, and they should not be overlooked. That being said, I want to encourage constructive conversation below this video. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, consider subscribing for more. If you missed my last video, you can click the link above me or wait to the end of my outro, because as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up those likes as always. Head pats. I will see you in the next video. That was a lot, and yeah, there is some nuance in this, and I'm looking forward to reading the comments and seeing what you guys have to say. Thank you to my patrons. Really appreciate it. If you guys want to become a patron and get your name at the end of my videos, the link will be in the pinned comment. Check it out, see if it's something you like. Thank you for subscribing, and also if you have a topic that you would like me to cover and look into on my channel, tweet at me at ZillaRage. The link will also be in the pinned comment if you want me to cover that. And that's just to know, make sure that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're getting. Hey, do that. I'll just subscribe, notifications turned on, be in the comment section for every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Appreciate you guys for subbing and becoming members of the Rep Squad. Have a good day.